Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of AyJay's Therapist Corner. I'm AyJay, and it looks a little different because I'm not at the studio. I'm not even in town. Praise God. So we have Terrence here. Nice to meet you. I met him this weekend, y'all. So I'm just pulling everybody to do things. So, what is a question or questions you may have for the therapist?
Okay. So I got like two burning questions that's always been on my mind.
Okay.
So now that you're here,
Okay.
you can answer.
I will do my best.
Number one.
Uh-huh.
So like as a therapist, you're constantly like face to face with other people's trauma.
Correct.
Does that ever rub off? Or like how do you deal with managing that?
There's always a little bit of, we call it transference and countertransference. So even in the session, there's some things that rub off that from me to the client.
Okay.
Whether I intentionally do it or not, we're all human. So sometimes what we go through, just whether it's verbal or nonverbal, it just kind of rubs off. But as a therapist, it's our job to be intentional about our self-care, about how we manage our time with our caseloads. However, it is a little bit harder when you have agencies that require you to have 15 to maybe 37 billable hours in a week.
Okay.
And so you have to be very intentional about, if you look at a therapist calendar, there's probably time where they say no clients, do not schedule. Like they have to mark it so you're not being like, what word am I trying to say? That your clients are not monopolizing your time.
Okay.
Because burnout is real. And you can still be burnt out even with self-care. Mm-hmm. So that's why sometimes you need to unplug, unwind, and take like a unscheduled vacation. Because everybody has their times of years where they're like, okay, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do there. You can do a staycation, you can do a mini, I'm gonna go an hour up the road, go find some different things to do, give me a hotel, be by myself.
Come to DC for a weekend.
Come to DC for a weekend like I did, you know. Yeah. But also the biggest thing is, even though I can talk a lot, I hate talking after I've had a full day of seeing clients. Yeah. So I work 9 to 5, and then on a few days out of the week, I work 6:45 to 10:30. Okay. So on top of that, you think I wanna?
Right.
You think I want to talk to you all the time? Yeah. So it's all about intentionality, and we always kind of try to feed that to our clients, but sometimes it's a lot harder to do with ourselves because our job is so demanding. Yeah. So it's really all about intentionality. The short way to say it.
Okay.
That was a long roundabout way.
No, it was very informative.
So what's number 2? Because I'm interested.
What makes a bad client? I know it may be like taboo to say that you have a bad client. Like that's something.
That's not taboo.
Really?
We talk about it all the time.
For real?
Yes.
What? Y'all be keying about the people.
We don't tell who the person is, and we don't give a lot of descriptors or feet. No, we still very much take full advantage of confidentiality. However, there are certain moments where we're like, let me tell you how this client called my phone at 10 o'clock at night, talking about, oh, I want to talk about something, or they texted me asking me for stuff, or in the session, one of our big no-nos that we have is don't be in the session, we're talking about something, and then the last 10, 15 minutes, you want to bring up something so big that we should have been talking about from the beginning of the session. Because we're going to have to table that. There's no time to dissect it and work through it. There's nothing we can do about that.
That's understandable.
But a bad client is a client who comes to therapy with no intentions to really commit to the therapeutic process. Okay. Because whatever you put into it, that's what you get out. So if you're not willing to try anything that the therapist gives you, you can't come to the therapist and say this isn't working. Because a good therapist is going to tell you, well, you're not trying. Okay. How can we work together to support you? And here's the things that we've suggested, and you haven't done that. Mm-hmm. So until we can see that you're making a valiant effort, I'm not going to work harder than you. So I feel like that's a bad client, or a client that's just majorly disrespectful for no reason. Like, you get to choose your therapist unless it's court mandated.
Oh, okay.
Court mandates, you kind of just...
see that being challenging.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks because they have no choice but to come.
Right.
So you're literally probably, you might drag feet with them the first couple of sessions or the entire time.
Yeah.
But a bad client is just simply one that's not willing to do the work. If you came to therapy with the intention to do something different, you have to be open and willing to give to the process and allow the therapist to be that. I call it the vessel to lead you to your own self discovery. Because at the end of the day, we can't tell you about you because we're not you. Right. I can't tell you to go and talk to that person and see what happens when y'all just had a full out fight where there was a whole bunch of negative words said. Neither one of y'all ready to process that yet. Right. So, and then if it doesn't work, you can come back and be like, well, Ariel said I was supposed to do this. No, Ariel did not. I didn't say that. I said whatever you decide to do is up to you, but be prepared for whatever consequences, good or bad, come with it. So I think, again, another long roundabout way to say bad clients are just the people who are just really adamant about not doing the work, but then you show up and take up a space every single week or every other week.
It's not productive. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not productive at all. Or an overbearing parent is worse than the client is the child. It's a minor. Minors still have, what am I trying to say? Minors still have rights to their confidentiality. So as their therapist, it's my job to allow them that safe space to be, but still let them know there's certain things that we might have to tell mom if it's something you're in danger of, or if it's something that could potentially be life altering. I make them aware of that from the beginning. However, everything else, I ain't got to tell the parents.
Right.
So if a parent is overbearing and they come to you like, you need to talk to my child about this, you need to talk to my child about that, and you need to do this, and this, because my child won't tell me that, or I want to know what you guys are talking about, that's another bad client.
Yeah.
But that's not really the client. So
like secondhand client. Gotcha.
Because you still have to consent with the parent because that child is a minor.
Right.
But at the same time, there's still that constant barrier that you have to, and boundary you have to put up with that parent.
Right.
When you're bringing your child to therapy. So
sometimes like the parents are getting in the way of the child's healing by being overbearing.
Absolutely. Sometimes the parents are the trigger. Ooh. But that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank you.
Answered my questions. Coming to the therapist corner.
Oh, for sure.
Y'all got to do all the YouTube stuff. So like, comment, share, subscribe, share it with somebody, tell a friend of a friend. I don't know what you're doing if you're not, and then go back and watch an episode of Code Switching Naturally because, again, I don't know what you're doing. Again, tune in till next time where I have another guest in AyJay's Therapist Corner. Bye.